Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. Hi, it's Monique, the Work From Home Mogul. And all you work from home buddies, I'm going to give you some great tips about how to run your business. Today's tips are about identifying your target market. And our special guest is Ambigua. I am happy to help you and absolutely anyone. Once you know who your target market is, you can identify them, and then you can reach them, and then you can sell to them. So make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll get right back to these tips. Who do you want your customers to be? This is so important because if you don't know who your customers are, you can't get any customers. So the worst thing that you could do is just market to everybody. When you're a new business or a small business, any type of business, you don't have the capacity to reach and service everyone. So if you're in the beauty industry, for example, that market could be, billions of people. Does that mean that you can reach and service all of them? No! You gotta be specific to be terrific. You've got to narrow it down. Narrow down who you want to reach. Doesn't mean that necessarily that those people are your best customers, but once you get honed in to a certain group, you can realize, are these your best customers? You can identify who your customers already are and niche into them, or you can laser focus into different areas to see where are you going to get the most bang for your buck. So let's go over the 4 segments. The first, geographical. Where are your customers located? If you're a service business and you have to meet these people in person, then the geography is your local surrounding area. Now, if you're online and if you ship products worldwide or digital services that could be anywhere on the World Wide Web, could be very vast. So if you don't know what area your best customers are in, you kind of just have to pick one and go with it. And if you've already collected some data, if you already are on social media and you can already see your analytics as to where people are located, who are the ones that are engaging, who are clicking, and who are converting. So for me personally, I have a hair products business and we do ship worldwide. However, the best customers for me are the ones that are closer to me because that means the products can get to them faster and the shipping is less expensive. I've seen people buy from me organically that just happen to be in these certain areas where shipping costs less. That's one way to go about picking an area if your area is the whole entire world. The second key area is demographic. You need to describe the category of this person. So basically, you're pigeonholing them, you're labeling them, and you're putting them in a box. You might not necessarily want to do this, but who are your customers? Not just where do they live, but where are they from? What kind of work do they do? How much money do they make? How much money do they spend? What do they look like, basically? So you are describing them in that manner. And most likely, this person is like you. Because when you start a business, you're solving a problem. You usually have experience with this problem. You've solved it for yourself, so you can describe yourself. Or if you have solved a problem for someone else, you describe them. For example, your target market might be children if you have children's toys, but your target audience would then be the parents because those are the ones that can buy and spend the money. So not only do you have to reach the audience, but you have to describe who you're serving, who you're solving a problem for, and why that audience wants to buy it to solve that problem. When you can describe in great detail the demographics and geography of your target customer, you can then find them. The next goes into behavioral. How do these people behave? I think the best way to go about this is to get further into describing the problem that they have and how are they reacting to having this problem. Why do they want to have this problem solved? And how can you help them to solve this problem? When you're going into your customer demographics of how much money that they have and how much money they spend, the behavior would be, where do they spend their money and why? What makes them the best customers for you? And how can you reach them? And lastly, psychological. Their psychological traits go into how can you reach them, or better yet, what can you reach them with? Because what are the things that they like to see? What kind of content do they like? What moves them? What is important to them? Like, what are their core values and beliefs? How do they think about things? Now, when we think about psychology and when we think about how people think, there's a few different categories of people. You know, you've got your type A, or your dominant personalities. You got the bosses, the people that are driven, ambitious, take control. You've got the caretakers. You have people that are very analytical and that write lists. And, you know, you've got the celebrity personalities, the people that want to shine, introvert, extrovert, and there's like so many different combinations of both. You can draw your business and your product towards their psychology by what they care about and how they think, and if they think that you're going to help them. So when you're creating your profile of your target customer, you got to think about, where do they live, what do they do, writing up a whole characteristic of how they think and how they behave, and knowing that this is ideally who you want to work with, who you want to be your advocates, and the places that you can find them. When we talk about identifying our target market, usually when you get into such a great detail describing them, you then know how to market to them and then where to find them. If you have a local business, your marketing can be local. You can go to events, have a table, have your own events, inviting people, getting people together. If you're online, search engine optimization, certain keywords that people are looking and searching for, as far as hashtags, or your competitors looking at their audiences and who are they and how they market to them. These are all the different ways, once you have made your identifiers, how to reach your target audience. Identifying who you want to be your customer isn't always who they're going to be. I have hair products that work for all hair types. However, I'm not going to market to every single woman that there is. I'm getting specific, and so people that are going gray and transitioning to silver, trying to stop dyeing their hair, these are people that I certainly want to target to. So there is different content and a marketing plan just for them. Then there's people transitioning to natural or have chopped off their hair entirely, that no longer using heat or chemicals on their hair. So that's a whole different market of people. So once you have your analytics of traffic to your website, engagement from social media, who's actually your customers, you can see who's drawn to you, and there may be one more than the other. You can have a few different target markets and then see who's drawn in and where your energy is best allocated, because that's where your revenue is. If your message is so vague that you can help everyone, you'll help no one. So I encourage you to go into detail about who your customer is. Let us know in the comments. Maybe one of them is watching. Now let's hear from Ambigua. Well, I am a brand strategist and I help companies get from point A to point B. Ambigua, what is your target customer? Basically, any company that has a problem, I can get them the steps to get their problem solved and get them to revenues that are exceeding what they are currently having. Who have you worked with in the past? I'm looking forward to developing my client base by taking absolutely anyone and showing how I've helped them. You definitely don't want to turn down any business when you're new, right? But casting a wide net, there's tons of holes in it. You're not able to get as much as if you were to go specifically with like a mini net to all the tiny little fish. You got to start accumulating and from there get the bigger fish. Any company that has any issue of any kind, I can evaluate the best steps to get them to produce and to get the revenues that they are looking for. What is your strategy for finding your target audience? Well, currently my strategy is just posting success stories on social media and potential problems or potential issues that companies could face and how I can help them. If you're all over the place, then you can't get to one specific place. I'll take absolutely anyone. Thanks, Ambigua. Thanks, Work From Home Bodies. Subscribe, stay tuned for next week's episode. See you then. Does that mean that you can reach and service all of them?